Kim, I love the thought that God knows each one of us by name, and I thank you for sharing it so well with the children and this big kid that heard it again. God knows my name. God knows your name. From the time that you were in the mother's womb, He has known you and has, in a whole variety of ways, called out to you so that you would know how He loves you as His child. And He's calling you. You who are graduating today from high school, if you hear His voice calling you, it says in the Psalms, don't harden your heart, but listen and follow. So here's a wonder for us to kind of think about who we admire as we evaluate life. Would you rather be a soldier serving in Afghanistan or an undercover policeman in New York City? Would you rather be Princess Kate Middleton, married to Prince William, or would you rather be Mother Teresa? Maybe you'd say that's easy because one is dead. Would you rather be Bill Gates or Millard Fuller, the founder of Habitat for Humanity? Here's you football fans. Would you rather be Adrian Peterson or Aaron Rodgers? Would you rather be Julia Roberts or Julia Childs? Would you rather be Governor Terry Branstad or the CEO of Morgan Chase Bank, Jamie Dimon? Would you rather be an astronaut or a scuba diver? And we could go on. But the point is that when we aspire to be someone, that it's not just who they are or how they look. It's also about their character, and it's about their values, and it's about how they carry themselves as a woman or a man. And it's about how other people view them, and it's about their ethics. It's about their giftedness. It's about where they've charted their course to go in life. So I want to let you know that as the people of God, God is calling us. And God is calling Faith Lutheran as a family of faith to hear His call and to do His mission. You know, the word career is based on the Latin word carrera, from which we also derive the word car. So it also in Latin means racetrack. It's quite an image, isn't it? That our life work would be like a dog chasing his tail, or like a car going competitively around and around in laps, as opposed to vocatio, vocation, which means to call. And it assumes that from a faith perspective, there is someone greater than us who has given us life, who has a purpose for us to serve the greater good. Round and circle, or hearing the voice of the one who gave us life and therefore beckons us to become all that He intended for us to be. One of the nicest compliments anyone ever gave to me was they said to me, Lee, you're never going to be content with a trivial life. Harry Emerson Fosdick said, always take a job that is too big for you. So let's think about this with a little alliteration using the letter P. The first thing when we think about the vocation of God calling each one of us to give our lives to serve Him, to say, here I am, send me, is passion. What is it that excites or energizes you so that your blood boils with the excitement of doing it, whether you get paid to do it or not? You know, I think it was Lou Holtz who said, the kamikaze pilot who flew 65 missions was committed, but not sacrificial. What is it that stirs your passion I remember when I was a young man before I went to seminary, and a mentor, Pastor Don Ronning, said to me, if there's anything else that you could do in life and be content, then go do that. But if you know that you won't be happy unless you become a pastor to share the message of God's Word, then you know that God is calling you to be a pastor. Passion. The second is purpose. What is it that is about your understanding of your giftedness merged with the character that you want to be? So it's not only what you will do, but who do you want to be in your purpose of life. There was an airplane pilot who got on the intercom and announced to all the passengers in the airplane, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is we're flying at 600 miles an hour, we got a strong tailwind, we're making great time. The bad news is all of the instruments are broken and I have no idea where we're going. Purpose is derived from a sense of understanding your innate giftedness, but also in a sense of the character or value of the person you want to be, the direction that you have for your life. Is it only about money? Then maybe you could compromise your ethics in order to gain. Purpose for us as the people of God starts with the sense that that is my primary foundational identity. I am a child of God. I am a disciple of Jesus. And in that knowledge, then we understand our purpose. The third is preparation. All of us have this tremendous potential, but you have to engage in a disciplined way for the development of your person in order to reach your full God-given gifted potential. My wife Denise has a little plaque that sits on the piano, and it's appropriate because here's what it says. Life is like a piano. What you get out of it depends on what you put into it. So are you preparing to reach your full potential? How can you maximize your potential? Is there some undeveloped potential yet waiting to be stirred within you? And what would that be? The next P is perseverance. There's a powerful story from 1952, a woman named Florence Chadwick. She was no stranger to long-distance swimming, having swam. You know what I mean. Twice she was in the water and went to the other side of the English Channel. But now she was going to try and swim the distance from Catalina Island off the coast of California to the California coast. But the day that she was to do this swim, there was a heavy blanket of fog, so thick that she could hardly see the boat that was motoring alongside her as she swam. Several occasions, those in the boat had to fire shots to ward off sharks that were close to her in the water. And the fog was overwhelming and her fatigue got to her, and she begged for the coach to take her out of the water so she could quit. He encouraged her to hang in there. She was really close. Please don't give up. Keep going. But finally she said, no, I'm done, and went to the boat. Well, it turned out that she was less than a half a mile from the shore. And a few weeks later, under clear skies, she swam that distance without any problem whatsoever. Often, when you feel like you can't go anymore, and the circumstances are such that it is an oppressive blanket like a fog that clouds your vision, that's when you have to beg God for the courage and the strength to persevere. Winston Churchill, the wise World War II leader, said to the bombed people of England, never give up. Never give up. Never give up. The next P is pleasure. It's very close to passion. Have you ever thought about doing something that you would do even if you didn't get paid for it, and getting paid to do that? That would be a pleasure. Eric Liddell, the British Olympic track star from the 1950s, from a faith perspective said, I know God created me for a purpose, but God also made me fast. And when I run, I feel God's pleasure. I like that. The last one is possibility. It's a decade ago now, but Roone Arledge, the TV producer for ABC, was the one who created Wide World of Sports. He came up with ideas like instant replay and Olympic coverage that took it to a whole different level. He was such a creative person. It is said of Roone Arledge that the ABC gave him an unlimited budget, and he exceeded it. You got to watch those visionary people, don't you? But he saw only possibilities in life, never the limits. And for we who believe that the Spirit of God is on our life, I think that we should always be saying, God, what is it that you want me to do? What is it that you want us to do that we couldn't do unless your Spirit empowered the accomplishment of it? Life lies before us like a rich smorgasbord of possibility. Now maybe you have never heard the voice calling your name specifically like Samuel in the night. Maybe you've never had an angelic visitation where God commissioned you to a specific task, integral to the mission of God. But this I know, as Kim shared with the children, God knows your name. And as the child of God, He, as He fills you with the Spirit, has a purpose in life for you.